Hello, my name is Michael Berger, and I have an associate's degree in mechanical engineering and a bachelor's degree in digital science. I have a certificate in AutoCAD and cybersecurity. I work as a student IT assistant at the University of Akron, a math tutor at Stark State College, SMT operator at Airborne Electronics, and as a student team leader at Kent State University in the Federated Desktop Support Department.
And my name is Gregory Hess. I have a bachelor's degree in digital sciences from Kent State University. I have a Desktop Security Pro certification, as well as numerous certifications through LinkedIn courses. I've held numerous IT positions in end-user support across Kent State, Beechwood Systems, and Northeast Ohio, and in my local area, in local town of Northeast Ohio, as I reside. And I'm en route to a rotational in Brooklyn, Ohio, this coming. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the TechIT podcast. This is our first episode of 2023, and we hope you're all having a good year so far here. Just about 30 days into 2023. It is January 30th of 2023, and today we got a nice themed episode regarding a glimpse, so to speak, into the complete 100% cordless wireless office setup or gaming setup, or how you put it, for your home office, be it computers and everything surrounding it. I'm your host, Gregory, here with my friend Mike, my co-host. Before we get into everything today regarding peripherals and everything cordless that could come to your market stream this time soon, Mike, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good, Greg. How are you doing this week?
I've been good. I had Chinese New Year last week, so that was a pretty nice. Just as I got together with relatives, and we had all sorts of foods that, let's just say, some people are not. It wasn't exactly lo mein and fortune cookies. I'll say that much. Like the commoners in America think Chinese food is only, but it was all good, and my work is steady, as well as my regular health in general. Just going on runs in my basement on the speed machine. How about you, Mike?
I'm doing pretty good. We've had quite a busy week at work this week as we're hiring a lot of people on. The executives came by and just basically gave us a large list of things to do. So we've been quite busy training new people and prepping for the new processes and security implementations. And I'm hoping to get one of the security officers from my company in on with the podcast soon. So cross our fingers for that. I'm sure he's a busy guy, so I'm gonna see if I can work something out with him. But let's go ahead and get started into the podcast. And as we said, the whole idea here is trying to get your setups as wireless as possible. It's kind of like the ideal gaming setup of the future. So I really wanted to start this off with the PC power. Like, how do we get that power wireless? And some of the ideas I had, as far as battery packs or solar panels, don't really make it fully wireless unless you're building that solar panel into your desktop and putting the desktop outside.
Yeah, and for many cases, already we have smartphones that don't like extreme heat constantly aimed at them the whole time. So that sort of idea for solar panels for something as precious as a workstation PC or gaming PC or what have you, for hybrid uses somewhere in between, it is complicated to have sun energy go into something that needs cooling in it still also.
Agreed.
So,
and I was thinking, what if we just had a battery pack or another off-grid solution? But one technology that I really wanted to see pushes boundaries in the future is a technology from WeCharge, a company that makes wireless power solutions for your like small devices. Their max power rating is 300 milliamps. And if you're looking at that in terms of compared to PCs, which can go from or not sorry, not milliamps,
Kilowatts.
milliwatts, which can go to from like 50 watts all the way up to hundreds of watts. Um, they're kind of more than just a little bit away. They're a few leaps away, I would say.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool company that's doing some cool stuff with wireless power. So the system is basically an infrared laser that sends this laser from the base, which is it kind of looks like a light fixture. And the light
It's a
fixture,
circular light
yeah, and
fixture.
you and I originally saw this on Linus Tech Tips. If you guys want to check out his YouTube channel, and he kind of demonstrates it with his phone and a speaker, and I think he had some toy trains going around. Um, and the really cool part is like this infrared hits like this solar panel looking adapter, and it can track that throughout your bedroom or your workspace. So you don't have to like take your phone and put it onto like a charging pad or a charging table. So
Mm-hmm.
I think this would be cool for someone to adapt to um, or amp up into something that could power a PC or a laptop. Um, so something for the future and something to get excited about, and hopefully they could push that further down the road. But let's go ahead and jump into the Wi-Fi solution for our wireless gaming setup and the adapters along with the routers that we have up here.
Yeah, so again, I before we go on to Wi-Fi, if you want to check out that company again, it's called WeCharge. It's WI-charge.com. And meanwhile, for adapters, which WeCharge at this point does not do yet, for those fans of them already, I have a piece here from VentureBeat that sort of broke down a bunch of different wireless adapters for gaming purposes specifically, but they can be for work too, because sometimes work needs to have good uploads and data flows constantly going in and out for jobs that take many hours into the night, even for like data deployments and the like, for like those of you in the database space. So there's a great deal of different devices on here from the likes of brands that might be in your home right now, such as Netgear, uh, Bros Trend, and Link System. And the top pick here so far is a Netgear AC1200, which is listed just as a way to just connect it to your computer via USB cable, which is technically a cable, but
But it's a USB adapter, and that's what we want
adapter.
to see. This will boost. Let's say your desktop doesn't have a built-in adapter or a built-in Wi-Fi card, and you want to add that to it. This is a great way to do it for those high-speed connections.
Yeah, it's according to this piece, it says go up to 1900 megabytes per second, which converting that, isn't that 1.9 gigs?
I'm sorry, I missed. You said 1,000.
1900 megabytes per second Wi-Fi
Yeah,
speed.
that's 1.9 gigs.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good amount right there, even though it's still kind of short of Ethernet. But the movements are showing right there for those of you that don't want to go through the trouble of wiring your house, getting a network cable installed, calling a network system technician to your house so that they drill holes in your wall so they can put some holes in it for Ethernet. These are good solutions to just have to just let that worry go away for those constantly need a constant flowing connection for work and then some. moving on from there, we can talk about what is this? Tom's Guide for
Yes,
routers.
Tom's Guide for Routers. So these are his best gaming router picks for your high-speed connections. And the one they're saying is the best overall is the Asus GT AXE 1100.
Zero.
Yeah, 000. Sorry, I missed the last zero there. And this has a 1 gigabyte connection. It uses USB 3.0, so it has a USB 3.0 port on it. It's got a 2.96 gigabyte per second peak throughput, and it looks really cool. I like that. I like the style of it. But
It's a
yeah,
big boy.
it's a chunky boy. But this is what you're gonna want to use for your gaming setup if you want that high speed connection. And what does it say? Eight slot or eight antennas. It has four LAN slots, one WAN, and it comes in at 12.7 by 12.7 by 2.4 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And those point 3.0 USB points, it has two of those. I know a lot of people don't get use out of those, but those are useful if you want to keep something on your network that has that everyone can have access to.
Yeah, because I still trust Asus, even though Asus was my old laptop. But this looks pretty sleek and nice for just what it can be. As currently, it's listed on Amazon at a discount of at $339 from $480.
And I've used Asus products. I have an Asus gaming monitor, and I've loved it. I've had no problems with it so far. So definitely a trusted brand as far as I know them. So then
Let's-
the next
yeah.
router on the list, I'm gonna stick with the top three here. And if you guys want to read the rest, you can hop over to it on Tom's Guide. Best picks for gaming routers.
We'll have all the links always below the description of each of our videos.
Mm-hmm.
SoundCloud and the like.
And the second one is TP Link Archer C5400X. This has 8 1 gigabyte LAN connections, one USB 2.0, one WAN connection. It's got 859.5 megabyte throughput. So it's a little bit lower, but you have to remember that this one's a little bit less expensive at.
It's modest.
Yeah, this is
by comparison.
middle of the road at $159.99.
And on Amazon, it is it's not here.
Yeah,
There's no listed price for it currently.
I think they just added $100 for it on Newegg. Are they out of stock on Amazon?
No,
I think
correction. On Amazon, there is 19 left in stock, but you have to buy it used.
Oh, okay. And what's the price on that?
It's $240.
$240. Okay, so it's a
with
little bit cheaper. If
$12
you get
delivery.
it, you can get it to the Walmart price here. You can get quite the deal at just under 160. So
Yeah,
definitely a killer deal there.
a sizable product with all the standards and what I can put out at a more modest price. If the other one, which was at $350, is too much.
And
we
then
have our bronze pick here, Netgear Nighthawk XR1000. Again, it's a slightly weaker throughput peak at 860.7 megabytes per second, with one USB 3.0 slot and one WAN and 4 LAN gigabyte per second port holes, with only 4 antennas, not 8 though. Sorry, and this is even more modestly priced, even though I can't find the listing of this one in general on this article. Let me just put that in here if it's on sites here again. Yeah, so typically the Nighthawk XR 1000s are worth about 251.45 on Amazon, down from 370. So another good sizable discount right there. Even though it does have drawbacks listed here of a 90-day support policy that goes away, as well as no multi-gig input or port aggregation capabilities. So, ugh. The other two kind of have those options, even though they're a bulkier cost size-wise. So, these are the options that we present. So, feel free to look at them and more so as we continue on here with the other pieces of the wireless setups we got here, such as monitors. You can't have a computer without a good screen.
So I noticed that you brought up some gaming monitors or some just these are all in ones. Like it's a completely wireless monitor here.
Mm-hmm.
Another when I was looking through solutions for this, I looked at a couple different solutions. One of them was a wireless GPU, and that's from 13 years ago. They also have a video about this on Linus Tech Tips. This is more interesting than useful, as I think more and more you're going to see the wireless monitors, or from Peak Do, they're talking about the wireless HDMI cables. So these are like adapters that you put on your HDMI cables that you can use wirelessly. So yeah, I did. Did you want to go over some of the specs of those all-in-one monitors that you found?
Yeah. So let me just direct it over here. As the top pick is a Dell monitor, which is interesting because usually Dell doesn't usually quote unquote win the specs contests regards to screens compared to Samsung and other companies of the like. But maybe Samsung's just busy trying to make smart kitchens these days. But yeah, this has a lot of things going for it. I would say, even though I don't have a wireless monitor at my house currently, as it is the top pick is a Dell S2317 HWI. While the display isn't very bright and the model is slightly small, this pick is a decent option that uses a 23-inch 1080p IPS panel. Expect the highest pixel density right there with those numbers, such as for simplest terms, it's a big screen with good resolution.
Now, when you're searching for a panel, it's important that you find one that is IPS rated, as this will give you the best quality. So yeah, that's a decent. Did it have a price point for this?
It's at 500.
Okay, so this is from all these specs. If I'm paying $500, I want it to be more than 60 hertz.
Yeah, that's the
Honestly,
drawback of this, plus it being a little bit older than the other ones.
and honestly, from all the wireless monitor solutions I've seen, they all seem to be sitting at about 60 hertz. Um, I would definitely like to see them step that up to at least 120 for gaming. And then later on down the road, we'd love to see the 144 or the 240. What didn't they come out with another higher spec one recently? Wasn't it was like 320 or something close to that?
I think it was spotlighted at CES. But then again, the only monitor I saw pick up steam at no pun intended at CES was this one by LG, which is a screen that you can just stick on your window.
Oh, was it like adhesive or?
It's like an adhesive thing on the back of it, so you just stick it on your window.
Oh, that's
Uh,
interesting.
And it's a sizable screen. It's about 25, 26 inches. wireless, which is surprising because that screen is not here on this list compared to the Samsung M8 and M7s, which are second and third place on this list. Just moving forward here, that have a more modern stylish design and a slim fit camera, as well as 4K Ultra HD Ultra HD resolution, as well as the ability to use assistants like Amazon Alexa and Bixby. Again, who uses Bixby? Uh,
Kind of the sidebar here, like, would you use Get Bixby if it didn't have a button for it? Like, I feel like
no.
the Bixby they kind of pressure people into using Bixby by adding that button to their devices. Do you think
Well,
that's kind of a turnoff for people?
yeah, I mean, the Bixby thing, we could have a whole piece about how good the smartphone AIs are,
Oh, that would be
which
fun.
they're all mostly bad, except Samsung Sam, of course, because it was just 2 years ago they came out with a female mascot for Samsung Sam, and that's all I'll say about that, because the internet gets very, as the kids say, down bad for anything that turns into a woman. So I'll just leave it at that, and maybe we can talk more about that later down the line. But back to monitors.
Right.
These Samsung monitors also double as a smart TV for those of you that have families and want a screen that's also multi-purpose. That's like, oh, I'm done with work, and the kids are home. I gotta put on something for the kids. So put on a smart TV. Put on your, I don't know, Adventure Time, and
Classic
multi-use,
quality show.
multi-use. And then once the kids go to bed, you can watch Succession or something like that. I don't know what old people watch. I don't know, Ice Road Truckers.
So I'm looking at these monitors, and just based on price points,
There are a lot.
they're
The
pretty
Samsungs
expensive.
are 700 and 350 respectively, which that's
Honestly,
still a lot.
if I'm looking at a wireless solution that's 60 hertz, I'm looking at the 329 one. The
They're,
HP model looks clean though. That's a clean design,
yeah, it
but
has IPS.
it's a little bit more pricey.
It has no USB-C ports on it, so you can't really connect your phone to it, or you have to find another way to connect something like your phone to the screen if you want to project something up there. Which that's not a huge problem, but some people have cord uh have casting preferences. For those of you that like the Fire Stick or something just like Chromecast, where you just plug in a little thing that looks like a drink coaster into your screen, do that. Even though this does have AMD FreeSync technology, which according to this piece, you need a wired connection for it, so that kind of defeats the whole this thing's wireless thing. So, ugh. It's a
So
tiltable display though. That makes up for it.
so I think I've had enough of the monitors for now. But if you guys want to check out Peak Two or the Peak Two review from Lies Tech Tips, please do go check him out on his YouTube channel. It's
Mhm.
Peak Dude spelled PEAKDO.
One word.
Yeah, all one word.
And from screens to the object that we use to put words on the screen, keyboards. We have a piece here from New York Times of all places, so it's weird they're getting into this, but okay. And I'll preface this by saying this is primarily like keyboards for offices. Like
Right.
these look like office, for lack of a better word, they look very officey keyboards, like for work from home situations, which we are taking notice of those people as well.
Well, you can always mention the big names. Like for example, I have for my wireless keyboard, I have a Corsair. I think it's a K63 Special Edition.
Hmm.
Um, The only thing that I would have to say about it that I'm not a big fan of is this specific model has trouble maintaining battery life. And I think it's just a small battery in there because it's a smaller keyboard, it does a small form factor. Um,
Hmm.
but I picked it because I liked the coloring and the design, and there's a lot of other features, especially like the armrest felt comfortable. Um, and just I trust Corsair's. I was a big fan of the keycap type. Um, and they felt good, and that's why I stuck with this one. Greg, what are you using, a wired or wireless keyboard?
I'm currently just using a laptop. I have a
Okay,
MSI laptop here. It's a GL65. So I haven't used a wireless keyboard, but brands I trust include Logitech, which matches my mouse and almost all the other mice in my house, which we'll get to later. But keyboards are interesting for Logitech because they have some, for lack of a better word, again, officey keyboards, which go in ranges from $120 to as low as 65 for this K780 multi-device keyboard that they have. That's $65 across Amazon, Walmart, and Best Buy alike. So that's the brand I trust. I haven't had anything Logitech branded that didn't work. Unlike other ones, like I don't know, Lenovo, as well as places that try to get back in the thick of things, like HP. Like they don't really make keyboards, but yeah, this New York Times piece usually only marks out for certain things, but the keyboards are all Logitech.
yeah, Logitech's a trusted brand. I have their mouse and their uh headset, their gaming headset. So when you're looking for a wireless keyboard, you want something that's going to be fast, and I recommend mechanical. I'm a big fan of the mechanical keyboards.
Mhm.
Um, so the one that is I hear a lot about is the Logitech G915 Lightspeed wireless keyboard. Have you had a chance to use that at all?
Not particularly, as
And
I mostly just been just kind of just around like, what I can get by with here. What was the name of it again?
it's the Logitech G915 Lightspeed. So also when you're looking for a connection, make sure you look for a 2.4 gigahertz connection for your keyboards. Something that's quite fast. That's going to give you the response time you're looking for. You could also look at the Asus uh, ROG Azoth keyboard.
The first one you mentioned is actually listed on Amazon at currently $150, down from 200. With some models going as low as 144.
Razer has a pretty decent one. The Razer Black Widow V3 Pro. That's quite nice. Um, but yeah, just I would say that my top pick is my Corsair K63, but keyboards are very specific to the individual.
Right. Some people
So
want more durability, some want more battery life, some want
and
ease of
and
use.
not just that. I think a big thing is what switches you like. So if you ever get a chance to go test out some switches at whatever, uh, I know there's a bunch of conventions. At whatever convention is taking place, get your hands on some switches and give them a try, because everyone has a different idea of what feels best in their hands.
Oh yeah,
Like
it's good.
Greg, have you got a chance to try out a bunch of different switches?
Not particularly.
I So a lot of people go say they love the cherries, cherry reds or whatever. I like the browns or the blues, but then you also have the greens, the yellows. There's a whole bunch of different switches out there for mechanical keyboards.
Right. Because again, it's all to the niche. Because some of the pieces I talked about, the low end Logitech ones or picks that are on New York Times Wirecutter's page, would be to the advantage of, well, most likely the worker on the go. Because the keyboards, some of these are like really small that you can fit in like in a travel backpack, for instance, for like, I don't know, like a traveling salesman or like a traveling real estate agent, someone of that nature. It's just based on preference and niches. But moving along, we have keyboard, but you have to aim the keyboard sometimes to somewhere specific to get errors. That's what mice are for. So I'm going to spotlight some wireless mice here from PCMag.com, which has again some copy brands from the last case. We have Logitech with MX Master 3S mouse at $100, or we can go as low as Microsoft Surface Mobile mouse, which is only $20, an editor's choice, according to the site here. But it does have other names as well that we weren't talking about before, like HyperX, which I'm very unfamiliar. Excuse me, unfamiliar with HyperX, as well as Razer, where I see Razer experimenting a lot more with other things, such as that $300 gas masks that they made during COVID. But I'm not buying that thing, grant you, but there is a plethora of stuff here still to look over. And personally, I still like Logitech, like I said. And I,
Have you ever used a Razer mouse?
yeah, I think I have back when I went to this place called a mall, and I was looking around for peripherals at the Microsoft store there because that's the only store that got company at the mall from our generation. That by our generation I mean uh single guys that entered the gaming still. It's that there's a lot of Razer stuff in that store, mind you, and it's just all very minimalist. But also Razer can go all out, so they like to flip flop between being that guy that goes all out for the party and sometimes just wearing like a sweatshirt and pants, so to speak, if that makes sense at all, that metaphor.
See, I've used the what was it? It was a very old Razer mouse. It was an MMO mouse, but it was wired.
Oh,
But I've used their products and I do like it lasted a good amount of time. So I would say they have some quality products. I know the Logitech G502 Lightspeed gaming mouse is pretty popular, especially among the pros. I have the Logitech G Pro Wireless. It's kind of more of one of the basic ones.
yeah.
Um, of course, can always go with the Razer, the Corsair. Those are very popular. HyperX. I've had HyperX headsets, and they've worked quite well.
Because again, I'm like not familiar with HyperX at all. I just kind of see them on sidebars.
You know, they used to be big in the headset industry. I think they're new to the mice scene, but
Yeah,
I think it's a good budget option in general.
I'd say so. Because of this list here, which you find at PCMag.com and in the description, I'd say my pick would be if I'm being careful with money. I go with just the Microsoft Surface mobile mouse, just as it's the lowest one, and an editor's choice at $20. If I want to go a bit more all out, I'm willing to give the Razer Viper Ultimate a try at just $60. As also, that one's the editor's choice, which I trust PC Mag a lot with my material. While I'm still a fan of Logitech as I'm using their mouse as we speak, and it's a wired one, a G5502. Yeah, their mice are still kind of, I don't want to say overpriced, but more so like out of scope. And for mice to the way you're going to be able to listen to those meetings and everything, headsets.
Well, I
So
want to say one more thing about mice. Is this is also
yeah,
a very person to person product,
of
as you
course.
want something that fits well and feels good in your hand. So that's definitely going to be something you want to test out, and that's why we're doing more of a general um, overall look at these, and just make sure it has a fast reaction time, and it has a long battery life. That's what I'm going to say, because you don't want your battery to die mid game, or at least as long as it has in session charging, or if you can game while it charges. That's something you also want to have, which I
Yeah,
think is pretty standard nowadays. But I know some of the older mice had trouble doing that.
exactly. And I've seen people experimenting with mice, and we could talk about that in a more general episode where you see the one where the fan's right under your hand.
Oh yeah, that's a nice feature, especially if you get like sweaty palms when you're gaming.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice feature, and I love them innovating. The price of it's still kind of uh-oh for me, but that's the field of mice with that. Uh,
But you said we should go ahead and get started, because this episode's already going pretty long. Let's go ahead and get started on the gamer headsets, the wireless headsets. And I see right at the top of the list here is the HyperX Cloud Alpha Wireless.
yeah, I've these are also at the Microsoft store in the mall here, which again, now immediately this is a hot take of mine that I'll keep to a minimum, but I don't like when the mic is fuzzy.
Really,
I just kind of find it unpleasant looking.
it's kind of like throwback-ish, I would say.
Like it reminds me
Um,
of those brown things that you find in the swamp.
it says here that it's detachable. Does that mean it works when you take it off? Like, if you don't have to have it plugged in for it to work?
Uh, I kind of doubt that, but
That kind of makes me
it's I would
curious.
say it's bi-directional, meaning you can put it on the other end.
Interesting.
Is that
Uh, okay.
right?
See, that's a question I would have. Like, can I take this? Because if you could remove, I found that if you do have a mouthpiece like that, that you can like bend it into your mouth, it can get in the way. Especially like that is my. I'm gonna sound like such a gamer, like sitting behind my desk eating food all day, but I always did. It always gets in the way when I'm eating. Okay, if it's bendy like that.
Oh yeah, there's
I like when it can move out of the way when you're eating easily. So that's kind of like
there's
why I like my more solid one that doesn't have like the bendiness, and mine just like
Mhm.
like flips up. You know.
You don't want a mic. You don't have you don't want a headset mic that has Peyronie's disease. But these are nice. They have a DTS spatial audio, which is good, so you're aware of things as they happen, be it for something specific like gaming or for a meeting where you have to be more aware of like things in it, such as I don't know, for training or something and the like. But just get some quick price points here. At Amazon, it is 160. At Target, it is currently is it gonna load up for me? At Target, it is at 160 also when purchased online, limited edition or limited stock, excuse me. And at Best Buy, it is currently Not gonna load. At 160 also. And it's saying something how good this is at the top of the list, as it says as a reason to buy, battery life can be only described as witchcraft.
Yeah.
I remind you, it was just 450 years ago that we thought that a woman that can count was witchcraft.
It's got a 300-hour battery life, which
300 hours.
is really nice because so as someone that is currently using a wired headset, I hate that when I get up and walk away and I forget to take my headset off. Like
Oh
I'll like
yeah.
pull it out of so it's nice it has like a detachable socket on the cord. Because if it
hmm
didn't, I'd be turning my computer off my desk every time I got up.
Oh yeah. Without a stand, also you kind of like can knock that thing over.
Right.
But moving to the second pick, we have the Razer Black Shark V2 Pro, and for differences here, I have a wireless headset currently that has wired options in it.
So wait, what are you using right now for your wireless headset?
I'm using a Bose QV45 Quiet Comfort headphones that my older sister got me for my birthday. And Bose is kind of, they're not always in the best of light because Bose is usually heard of for music more than gaming and the like.
And they're quite
Like,
pricey.
and they're quite pricey.
I've had what did have I had? I've
Like,
had a speaker from Bose that was very expensive.
right, because I mean, both speakers are like moving all around the place as well because they're kind of known for the quality, not for being modest. And
Okay.
for dimensions, the Razer Black Shark here is 160 also at Amazon, Target, and Best Buy, with a comfortable fit and decent battery life. And by comparison, my mic, my mic, my headset that I have as Bose is currently listed at $240. And you have to get two apps to get the thing to work. So I'm in no way endorsing these so far, but
Wow.
they're pretty good, and they have this wired idea alternative where you could put in this 2.5 millimeter cord by 3.5 millimeter cord into your laptop when the headset's dead, so you can still use them if the Bluetooth power battery in it is down as well. So I like that alternative. They can turn into a wired headset. Unlike some of these where they have a dongle attached to them that make them wireless.
Right. And just for most of these specs here, they're at the 2.4 gigahertz wireless. Um, the of course of all these specs, the best one I've seen that has caught my eye has been that 300-hour battery life. As I'm someone that likes to go a long time without having to charge his headset.
Oh yeah, compared to the third pick and last pick we have here for headsets is the Corsair again, HS80 RGB. That means a red, green, blue. For those of you not in the know. Well, this has wireless features again because that's the point of the podcast, and its weight is. Why does it have weight here?
It's
But
pretty heavy. I think compared to those, it's quite heavy.
it's the
That's
heaviest of the three at 360 grams, and for those of
360.
us,
The previous one was 320,
yeah,
and the first one was 322. So
yes,
yeah, it's on the heavy side.
yeah, and this one does not have an Amazon listing, so just to kind of make this one more brief here, it has excellent high-res audio and Dolby Atmos atmospheric sort of drivers inside it, as well as having a good microphone, which I wonder how a PC gamer here guided these
It's
microphones, but
it's 109 or about 110, 109.99 at Best Buy.
yeah, that's
So
fair. It's
that's
down
a fair
from
price. Yeah,
150,
that's a
and
fair price. Yeah.
on their own website, let's see if they're gouging a little bit here. It's 140 on their website. So take what you will with that. That
So
other
that's
people are
a
selling it
that's a
cheaper.
good that's a good bit cheaper than the previous one, which was 122 at Best Buy.
Oh yeah,
Did we get a Best Buy comparison for the first one for the HyperX
yeah. Best Buy it was 160
160?
also, and
So
for the
yeah,
second,
if you're looking for that budget wireless headset, then I would say this is the way to go. It's a trusted name. It's not gonna keep you're not gonna be able to game for weeks on end without charging it. And it's a little bit heavier, but it's a decent gaming headset.
exactly, and the dynamicness of it all again can be used for work and for gaming or hybrid use. Like for those like late nights where you want to watch a movie by yourself that your family doesn't like The Menu. By the way, I recommend the movie The Menu. Pretty good. It's kind of dark, but I'll just preface that there. They're really good at noise canceling everything out. I'll say that for Bose and Corsair. From like the times I tried them out at malls and stores and the like your mom's favorite store, Kohl's. They have those there for some reason. When I checked the other month. But again, to kind of close this off, I want to preface this with how wireless isn't perfect at the moment. You know, there's still a lot of advancements that can be made. Again, with the whole idea of solar power and alternative power, as well as making the prices more modest. Same thing that's kind of hurting the eco cars at the moment. As the ideas are there, but they're just kind of expensive for to get more of the commercial intrigue about them. You know, like it was just the other day I got into it with my parents about how fast it takes to charge one of these eco cars or to make these green friendly things. You know, but with advancements coming a long way, and even the guy that invented the lithium ion battery having recently invented a glass version of the battery that can hold more power quicker.
That's a great advancement there.
It is coming along with power advancements and the like. As someone that likes innovation and a fan of emerging technologies and current technologies, who is kind of getting wary about ChatGPT,
Yeah.
for instance, then I'm kind of hopeful for what can become of these wireless setups here that we talked about today. And maybe we'll have a part two before the year ends. Who knows?
Awesome.
Once
Well,
things get more rounded up together. But like I
yeah.
said, that is our special today on wireless office computer slash gaming setup that you can make in your house right now. We're spotlighting some good things from monitors to keyboards to the mice to networking, wireless networking, and prospects that are covered by channels such as Linus Tech Tips to the big boys over at the New York Times who are mostly right. And feel free to give us a like, a share, a comment. We are acceptable of all feedback. You can check out our Patreon also to help us put out more of this great content as we are hoping to make the most of what we can put out this year and what we can give to you people that the mainstream forgets to bring up about technology because technology is the least covered sector, I think, right next to fashion, which I don't know why I remember that, but not now, but there
I
you
feel
go.
like a lot of people have their eyes on the health sector right now. Which, speaking of which, if you guys are also a fan of health, we are going to be releasing another podcast on health soon. So stay tuned for that. We will, as soon as we release our first episode, we will also um, we'll try to find a way to share that with you guys so you guys can listen in.
Yeah,
But I think that's all we have for today, right, Greg?
yeah. So again, everyone stay safe out there. Hope you're all having a good rest of the month of January. And till
Thank you
next
for
time,
listening. Stay vigilant.
stay vigilant, everyone.